Okay, Darry, let's move on to another game you really like.
Yeah.
That there, Overwatch.
And I've been playing a lot. I think I already have 15 hours on this competitive season. I've been playing a lot more Overwatch recently.
Okay, so for people who are not in the know, here's the basics of the news from the recent Overwatches. Role queues have been added to the game, Darby. It's finally happened.
Praise be, praise.
So
Papa
I assume
Kaplan.
that means you're okay with what you played of the role queue so far.
Yes, I have been quite enjoying it. Yeah, roll queue is on the PTR right now. You can go ahead and read what it is. Yeah.
This means that before a match, players will choose a role and be matched up. So there are 2 of each role for each team. So if people don't know, that's DPS, tank, and healer, or support.
Yep.
There are reward incentives for choosing a role that is in high demand. The example they give is support, which is normally the one people avoid.
Yeah, support and tank, but mostly support. I would think is the
what
highest,
that mainly is. People always try to go for DPS.
Right.
It seems like.
Right.
Competitive mode will have role-specific skill ratings,
which is super cool. Yeah, this is before like your competitive rank was. You just had one rank for like no matter what you played, so like you could be really good at support and you're building up that rank and you're like, hey, I'll try DPS, but you're not as good at it. You're gonna risk that number going down, so you're kind of incentivized to be like, well, I'm not gonna try anything new because my rank's gonna go down. I guess I'll just keep doing the same ones. But now you can be really high support rank, but then you go to DPS and you're playing at like the correct rank for DPS. Like you might be a worse DPS, so you'll be playing with people at a lower level. It's just a lot better system, you know.
So it'll be better. Well, you play it now, but I don't know. The beta period on PC will be from August 13th to September 1st. I don't know exactly what that means.
I think
that was on their website.
Maybe that's a separate thing from this or something. Because
that might be like you're in PTR. This might be general PC.
Yeah, maybe this will be like on the
because it didn't say PTR. I would have put that down.
Maybe there'll be a beta version in the normal game on August 13th or something, or I don't know.
I think that's more means it'll be in the normal PC game.
Yeah,
and then I think after that, that's when it's might be coming on consoles and all that. And 222 lock will also be implemented in the Overwatch League, starting with Stage 4, which starts this week.
Yep. Yeah. So if you've been paying attention to Overwatch, I mean, like, a lot of this came from, in the Overwatch League, it was everyone like went around a 3 tank 3 support composition, and that just became the dominant thing that just every single team had to run.
To goats.
Yeah, goats. And you know, the goat is dead. The goat is dead. So that just became really boring to watch. And then also, if you play like any Overwatch just at all, you know that like you roll the dice and you have about a 50% chance of just you go in there and like everyone like gets 4 DPS and then like I'm the only healer, we have no tank, and it's like, all right, well, we lost. It's just a shitty feeling because it's like, I mean, like Overwatch is so much about having the right team composition. That's like everything in Overwatch. And and I kind of hate it for those people too, because a bunch of people will be teamed up and there'll be a lot of people like, I'm a support one trick. I am not that good at anything else. I'm good at a few support heroes. And it sucks when you get in there and it's like, I know I need to go this other class, but I suck at it. And if you go that class and suck, people are mad at you. If you don't go that class, people are still mad at you because that's what you needed. It was just bad.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a worry about this like hampering creativity with you can't have like weird comps outside of 222. And I was on this podcast like a few months ago saying that I didn't think this should happen, but I've played a whole lot more Overwatch since then, and I really do think it's the right way to go. I think there's still like, when you know everyone's locked to this, I actually think there's going to be more creativity just because you'll see, you know, their comp and you'll be able to, like, you'll know they're running these 2 DPS, so we need a counter with these other ones. Whereas when you could choose anything, it just became a lot more of, oh, we need to mirror exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, so here's the thing about the whole creativity thing, which I get it in concept, but in Overwatch, it doesn't work. For like when there were no character limitations, like you could pick as many of one character you want, wasn't there a thing where it was 2 Tracers, 2 Winstons, 2 Lucios or something? It was like
something like that,
at least some maps or something. So that's just someone finding one thing that works and everyone copying that. Same thing with goats. Like, yeah, you can argue, you know, this 222 thing limits creativity, but without it, people are just using one thing and that's it, and no one's really being creative because they're stuck with this one thing. You might get the odd match where people are using someone else there. I mean, I know Sombra has kind of been used a little more, but
yeah, it was like slowly changing. And this last stage was the first time that like people running in DPS comp against goats actually like won the stage. The dragons won the stage, but until then, like I think the first 2 stages of Overwatch, there six characters completely dominated the playtime. Like if you look at the playtime of just those 6 goats characters, and then the drop off after that was just absurd. It was every single match was the same 6 characters.
I think, especially for Overwatch League in particular, I think this will actually, you said, make people be more creative because they can. And now the new meta, at least for a little while until. So odds are someone will find something that is the new meta. And that's it.
Like, and this will be kind of a fun Wild West territory right now where everyone's trying
people
to
can mess around with things, seeing what groups of 2s for each thing works.
And also the other thing is, the bigger this game gets and the more heroes they put into this game, the harder it is to balance. And then when anyone can have any sort of composition, it makes it 10 times harder for Blizzard. But now that they know that it's role locked at 222, it'll make it so much easier for them, so they can keep adding heroes, and like it's a lot more manageable.
They've been teasing a new hero. Forgot his name already. Sigma from Mega Man.
Yeah, Sigma from Mega Man. Let's go into Overwatch. You heard
finally a guest character. But yeah, also they had some. They had some characters. One character in particular got hit with the Nerf hammer more than anyone else.
Are you talking about Brig?
Yeah. Like, I looked at her and I was like, she's like a completely different character.
Yeah, which she kind of had to be because, I mean, especially on the pro level, Brig was kind of designed for 3-3 almost. Like, she was just worked best as the third healer. And honestly, if she just stayed the same, then she would just probably never be used.
Yeah.
But it is weird when you read the patch notes. It almost seems like, they just like
they eviscerated her.
Like I thought she was just gonna change a lot, which she did. But they also like bumped down so much. Like the shield going from 500, which was kind of ridiculous, but to 200. That's a huge drop off. But she does a lot more passive healing. But then I think her healing to herself is halved.
Yep.
So she's just like a lot more of a squishy support now. Yeah. Which is kind of weird. You think of her as like a tank. I kind of feel like she's going to go through like 2 or 3 more changes before they really figure out what Brig is going to be now. I feel like she's going to be one they're going to have to kind of tweak a lot.
So a question, because will this patch with the Brig updates be in the Overwatch League?
I don't think so.
Okay. Just the 2-2 lock.
Just the 2-2 lock. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I don't think so. I think that they're still playing on the...
That will be interesting because in the Overwatch League they'll be playing Brig as she was, if at all. The sounds of it, it probably won't.
Yeah, I kind of doubt that many teams are going to use her, and she'll probably just completely fall off in this stage. But the thing with Overwatch League is also really weird because they've done 3 stages. There's 4 stages, so they've done 3/4 of the season with one way, and then they have this huge, gigantic change right at the last quarter. So a lot of teams that have been amazing this whole year might be a lot worse now because they're pretty much playing a different game.
Yeah.
And then another team that's been garbage might suddenly rise up.
They can use their DPS players.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like if like in the last 4 games of NFL football season, they're just like, you have to shoot a basketball to score a touchdown now.
Hey, you can only use half as many linemen.
Yeah, or something like that. So it's gonna be kind of a weird end.
We're also nerfing Tom Brady.
Yeah, we're gonna kneecap Tom Brady.
We're actually gonna take out his kneecaps.
Yeah,
it's win the Super Bowl.
And I get that, like, some people are gonna be bummed about this. I have a feeling they're probably going to, in the arcade, have like a permanent like classic quick play, basically.
Yeah. So one thing I was kind of reading, and one thing I can understand more people being upset about, is it looks like quick play is going to completely have this as well. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think this needs to be pervasive because, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like to play competitive, which I understand. It's just kind of people are a lot more on edge, and it's just a lot more, serious. A lot of people just like to play quick play, but those same people have the problems with like. It's even worse in quick play with people just not choosing the right comp and everything like that. So I think it needs to be in both, but I think the compromise is in the arcade. You know, they have the different modes switch out every week. I think they need to just have a permanent mode in the arcade that is normal, like the free for all thing. I think that would be a decent compromise, and I think there would be enough people who want to play that to keep that going.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd be kind of like, if they don't do that, make that a permanent option.
I agree.
Like, okay, I get competitive in Overwatch League, needed this in particular, but now you're kind of just quickly changing how everyone can play, and people like doing some goofy stuff and all that. Yeah. So, if they want to do that in quick play and have fun and do that, make it a mode that, obviously have it in a quick play way it's locked in and everything, but have the option.
If you made me guess, I would guess that it's going to be a thing in arcade, but I don't think it'll be locked like permanent in there, even though I think it should be. Like they have a no limits mode that's like the old Overwatch where everyone can choose, but that's just one of the rotating. It's not always
that is lame.
There. Yeah, I think it should always be in there. I mean, part of the problem is they have to keep queues ready for all these different games, which I know is hard. But I would sacrifice one of those other ones just to have that one in there for people whenever they want it. Yeah. And the only other thing I'll say before, and then we can move on, is from the brief things I've tried, I've really only queued for support and DPS so far. And there's definitely a big worry about the DPS queue being forever because most people are wanting to do DPS. In my experience, most of the time, it has not taken any longer than my normal Overwatch matches. I did have one time where it took like 8 minutes or so, but for the most part it seems like it's okay. It is on the PTR, so there's just less people in general, so and
more likely people are kind of made jack of all trades or
they're just trying out different things. So I mean, very early thing. I don't know how it's gonna
I'm curious how it's gonna, and they might have said this or whatever, and something I might have missed. I'm curious how it'll work like when we play together or something. Will it be when we group up, when we become a group or whatever, will we individually do it, and we got to try to find people who are locked into the last 2 spots for us?
No, when me and Alex played in PTR, we would just be in a group, and then whenever like Alex would choose for us to go into a match, then me and him would both choose our different things and choose which role we want, and it matches you up with other people.
Yeah.
So like, I think it would just be like if we had a group, you would choose, we would all choose our different things. We couldn't choose more. Is that what you were asking?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. That you choose it before you go into the match, and then it'll.
I just want to make sure. I'm sure that, I mean, that's an obvious thing that I'm sure they would have to have planned, but
yeah.
Just want to see because I didn't see an exact thing for it.
Yeah, no. I mean, obviously, if we were in a group together, we couldn't choose DPS or something like that.
And luckily, the whole delete DPS thing wouldn't happen with us.
Yeah. Nope.
Unless you, Alex, and Olivia all want to play particular DPS characters. Like, I have to play this character right now.
That would be a very rare thing. Yep. And if they really wanted to play DPS, I'd be like, okay, I'll go play Mercy, as I do 95% of the time. Yeah. So, yeah. Also, Mora. Have you seen Mora now? Like, she can dodge out of literally everything. It's kind of stupid.
No, it's one of those things I was reading the past notes and read her phasing thing. It's like, it's one of those things like, is that as busted as I'm thinking it could potentially be? Am I not understanding things? Then I saw people reading stuff online about it. I was like, oh, okay, I was right.
Yep. It's probably not going to last long.
Yeah. Enjoy it while you can,
Enjoy it while you can. All right, Jeffrey, let's move on.
Yep.